Okay, so today what we are going to do is the next experiment number 5, which is your connection to the field always provides you accurate and unlimited guidance. Okay, meaning it'll always give you the solution. Okay, for example, just now Gauri said, I put an intent but didn't happen, right? Now she can find out from the field why it's delaying, why it didn't happen, or when is that it will happen? Will it happen at all? All of these things actually you have guidance from the field, and the guidance is very, very accurate actually. And it's unlimited. We are not concentrating, we are not knowing it, that's right. So basically, this inner guidance, which is your own intuition, is constantly available. And it was always available, it will always will be available. Okay. And for anything, there's no restriction. Only I'll talk about relationship. I don't talk about your money related stuff. There is no such thing like this. Okay. Now what happens is this is coming from your subconscious mind or your gut feeling, your inner guidance it is. Now our left cerebral hemisphere, which is this side, is the conscious mind. Okay, and what it is, it does interpretations which are wrong, and that's why everything gets messed up. Okay, now this conscious mind is designed for only 2 things. That is to identify the problems and also to formulate a goal. Because identifying problem allow us to logically think, and a goal requires logical thinking. Logically, it should be possible. In 48 hours, it should be possible is a logical goal. Because we live in the logical world. Okay. Now, if it had done only that much, it would have been better. But it also decides to get involved a little more. So what it does, it just goes ahead and says pros and cons. So even it'll get into rational decisions. All the other illogical things are called as rubbish, and all the pros and cons of that decision also it will think, and your gut feeling will go for a toss, because gut feeling does not have anything to logically prove that it's right. Most of them are very illogical. We can't prove it why it happened. It's like that. So when the logical mind comes into picture, totally, gut feeling goes for a toss. Okay. So what happens is, the moment, let's assume it forms a problem, it defines a problem. Okay. It starts, the loop starts. Okay, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, etc., etc. It goes on, and there is no time for your intuition to come into picture and tell you maybe this is how it is. Okay, we totally will say that, oh, come on, I have been there, done that. Okay, and it's just didn't work out last time, so why don't you just keep quiet? This is what the conscious mind tells your gut feeling. Okay, so it judges, it distorts the reality, and it just causes a lot of unnecessary emotional stress. And so, as you know, your intuitive decisions and guidance comes only when you're very peaceful. If this is creating so much of a distress for you, where is the peace? So you will kind of surrender to your conscious mind, and you logically think, and you'll come to a conclusion logically. And that could be right also. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it may not be very easy, effortless, and also precise, like your intuition. Whereas intuition is always easy, precise, and it's very, very right for you at that time. Okay. So Once you get hang of this, you will start doing it more and more often. That's why these experiments which we are doing will make you believe, it's like training up your mind. The more we train up this mind, the more you'll start using your gut feelings and using that power which you have, which can make your life easy, right? That's why the more experiments you do, the more you'll start observing it, the more you'll start believing it. And the more you believe it, more magic happens in your life, right? Okay. So one thing we have to understand this, the inner guidance comes in many different packages. I mean, what you probably are expecting to come, it may not come in this way, okay? And it comes suddenly in a very surprising way. For example, suddenly you might hear a voice telling you something, and you will think that I am just hallucinating, I am just making up everything. It's not true. But how about you just thinking about it, whether is it possible? And how about flowing with it to see how that will come into your reality? Okay. So for example, some, that Michael Beckwith, I don't know whether you know this guy. He is, I have heard many of his classes and speeches in Mindvalley, actually. He's really awesome. He's a priest or something like that in an international spiritual center in Los Angeles. Okay. And in his life earlier, he was, when he was a student or something like that, he used to sell a lot of marijuana, a lot of drugs he used to sell. And when he made so much money out of it, from East Coast to West Coast, he was selling in US. And then he decided that at this rate, he will retire by the age of 24. And then he decided, okay, let me retire. This is enough, because he always felt something in him was telling him that this is not right. Okay, something is wrong about this, he was feeling. And repeatedly he would feel that there is something more to life than this. But he kept on and on and on, because even a lot of people wanted it from him, etc. So he had a last pack to be sold, and he decides that no more. Okay, but something happens and he gets caught. And he was supposed to go to the court for a trial. And then there is this voice telling him, don't worry, everything will be all right. You need to get out of this, and you have a life purpose to achieve. And he thinks that, what the hell, I've done such miserable thing of selling the drugs, and how can I get out of this? It's impossible to get out. And he's thinking that, okay, if that is so, he's not a person who will believe in God and all that. He says, if that is so, whoever who's talking to me, please make sure that I get the fantastic lawyer and I get out without any charges, because I'm not willing to go to jail. And apparently he gets that one very famous lawyer. Now, at that time, he was just started his career or whatever. And the way he does everything, the judge says that, okay, looks like you have awesome life ahead. I don't want to see you anymore in this court. If you promise me that, I'll let you go. It's as easy as that. They will let him go. And he just comes out and thinks, what just happened actually? And then again, he hears a voice. You're supposed to do something else. That's why I made sure that you're out. Anything, whatever that is. He thinks that anyway, I had already decided to get out, right? So it just happened. That's how he thinks. And then he goes to his house. And on top of his house, he has what do you call that? The wind, that one cock will be there, no? That on top, which will show which side is the wind blowing. Okay, it is there. And it was too windy that it's going round and round and round. And then he stands there, he wants to test. He says, if you really think I need to do something, let this point at me and stop spinning. And he thinks that it's not going to happen. But he is shell shocked because in just 1 minute, it stops and it points at him. And then he says, oh shit, then I don't have any choice but to flow with that, whatever that life plan which is coming to me. Okay. And then he goes inside the house and he thinks, okay, what is that I'm supposed to do? I don't know anything. I was only selling the drugs and enjoying the money. And then he closes his eyes and then a scroll just drops down in front of him. And it says that you need to go give a talk in some church. Okay, some church. And then he laughs at himself. I going and talking there. Okay, and then he says, okay, I don't even know which church is it. And then he just decides he just hallucinated and he thought about it. That's all. And he keeps quiet. After a week, he gets a call from that the church, I don't know what you call the pastor, somebody. He calls and he tells him, can you come and give a talk about what all you underwent and how you made the life changes? And at that time he says, yeah, I know that I have to give a talk. And that other side gets surprised. How do you know? He says, leave that. I just know it. So what he is trying to say is, everywhere we have the indication, which is always putting us to our path. It's just that either we are missing it or we are not understanding it. We need to crack it. How to understand these? It's just that much. We need to understand how to understand these, or we need to open up to hear more and more. Okay. And a lot of people, they say that, oh, I channelized, this message from there, that message from there. They keep, we hear a lot of people saying it. We hear a lot of people saying that I received this message, right? And we think that only some few people are privileged people who get these messages. For a longest time, I used to think like that whenever I attended many of these healing workshops where people would talk that, this, etc. I got this message, I saw this, I would think, oh my God, I'm such a very normal commoner that I can't receive any message. And I would concentrate on the procedures with the teachers teach because I don't seem to receive any message. But then I slowly realized that it's like a knowing. You don't have to hear. You don't have to hear the words. You don't have to see things. It's a knowing. And that knowing is what I need to pay attention. And that will guide me, take me to that path. Right? So what happens is, we are like this. We are putting the question to this universe that, oh my God, this is happening to me. Oh my God, I want this. And then like that little toddlers, we are keeping our hand like this. We say, la, 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 la. We are not able to hear it. And it's telling us so much. And we are not hearing it. Because we have tantrums. And we have made up our own rules in our head. We have decided for ourselves. And we are not interested in hearing something which is very weird and very something which we cannot connect to. So we are only hearing that la 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 in our head. Okay. And observe yourself. Whenever you call up somebody, right? Or you get a phone call. What do? You hold it. And the first thing you say is hello. And you try to see who's that. Of course, in your mobile, you get their names now. Let's take the olden landline or some unknown number comes and you take it. You don't have a caller ID, by the way. So you're saying it. Okay, you're trying to listen to it, the voice. Next, immediately you will ID it. A man or a woman, a known person, unknown person. And then you're trying to get the context. Right? Oh, okay, it's a loan giving call. Oh, it's somebody, my neighbor. oh, it's my friend, oh, it's my mother, whatever that is. Okay, you get into your context. Now the next thing, what do you ask? Okay, what's the point? Can we come to the point? Why you have called? Or you want to tell them why you have called them. So you'll put a context there, and then you go to the point. And then you have a conclusion after that. So in one phone call, so many things happened, right? Now, are you doing the same thing with the universe, with the field? You have kept your phone off hook. You have made it totally, in a silent mode. You don't want it to be disturbed. Okay? We are not even hearing. Forget about the context. Forget about everything else. We are not even saying hello. That's what we are doing. So what we need to do is we have learned how to put an intent. We have realized that there is a field. We put an intent, but we are not trying to get the messages, guidance. And they're beautiful, very powerful guidance coming for us. And because it's us, field is us. So it has to be our own intuition. It cannot be anything else. Okay. So we need to definitely hear that. Now, how do we hear it? Is there any way that I can make out that this is not my imagination? This is my gut feeling. This is my my guidance coming from the field. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to understand how our body reacts to it. That is where I want to do a small little experience to understand our own body frequency, because body responds to that frequency differently. When you're imagining, the frequency is different. When you're getting the guided messages, the frequency in the body is different. You need to figure out what is your that feeling. I can only make you feel the energy body of yours, but how that energy body responds to you is what you need to figure it out. So how do we practice this? Is, of course, we do the process now. And then for the next whole week, keep on sensing your energy body. Okay? And let's assume an argument happens in the house. Sense that energy body. Some gut feeling comes to you, and then you realize it gets realized in the reality. Immediately sense your gut feel, sense that vibration of the body. So you will realize how your body is talking to you. And so this way you'll be able to figure out whether it's your imagination or it's your gut feeling. Okay? And it's a very sensitive vibrations. So that also requires you to get in touch with your body a little bit more and more. If you're not in touch with your body, that means to say, if you're too busy in your life and you're not able to even feel your body, then you'll never feel it. So at least sometime, like 2 minutes of your day, let's assume when you're taking bath, you can feel your body, you can feel your vibrations, you can feel the energy body and how it behaves. Or when you're traveling and your thought processes, your thoughts are going everywhere. In between, just figure out how your body is sensing it. So every thought, how it senses. Somebody you don't like, the moment you think about them, immediately flip and see how your body is sensing. So have a little bit of a game with yourself, and you keep on understanding how the body responds to your thoughts and kind of ID it in your mind. It's like you recognize it. IDing means you recognize that. Okay. So when you do that, it will become very easy for you that you ask a question and then you leave it. And then when some guidance comes to you, immediately check with your body. Think about the guidance, check with your body, and then you know that that's not your imagination, or that's your, the truth. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here, right? That's probably my way of knowing, my knowings. As I said, I don't hear. Sometimes these days I do hear voices, but I'm not able to figure out those voices are the truth, because so far those voices have not been the truth. I'm not able to figure out what is the meaning behind it. But I'm more of a person who has a knowing, and then at that time I definitely feel something in my tummy which is a not good feeling. Then I know that this is not what I should do, or something which gives me kind of a confidence. It makes me feel like, okay, fine, my problem is solved, kind of a thing, feeling comes to me, and that time I know that is what it is for me. But most often what happens to me is I get some kind of a picture in my head, but I am a very good daydreamer. So my constant question is, am I daydreaming, or this is a picture which I need to pay attention? So at that time I check with my body. This has been my practice. So even when people are talking, when I'm listening to them, constantly I'm checking in my body. There's so much of a body feeling I get. So even in my therapies, when somebody is talking to me, my body is responding to that, and I know which direction I need to go because of that. Many times when I'm doing distance healing, until that body sensation goes, I do that, then I know that something has changed there. This is all I'm telling you because this is what I have experienced. It may not be yours, but I'm only telling you because it's kind of a guidance for you. Maybe where do you go and check for yourself? And if you can enlighten me, what is your method? Maybe that will also guide me a lot. So it's going to be a new revelation for all of us. So please figure it out for the next 1 week and tell me and tell everybody. Okay? Okay, so are you ready to do a process to feel our energy bodies only? It's very mechanical process. But the more you try this throughout this week, trust me that you are going to transform yourself in understanding yourself. And you can use this technique later for many things. The first important thing for us to do is to know our energy body, how it feels, because many of us cannot see it. Some people can see though. Okay, so you're ready, all of you? Okay. You can do it with open eyes and closed eyes, all your choice. First of all, just calm yourself down. So just 1 minute, just concentrate on your breathing. And then what I want you to do is hold your left hand like that. I mean, I'm keeping it like this because people can see, but you can keep it on your lap because that's the easy height. Okay. And on your right hand palm, keep your hand a little loose, but not loose like that. Keep it a little closer, but the tips are not touching each other, something like that. Okay. Then brush your hand from the tip of these fingers. Take it till your wrist. Okay. Take it till your wrist. You see that? Let me show you this way. I'm brushing it like that, vertical, brushing it. Get it? You can put little pressure if you want. You can like tickle your palms. You can do anything you want. It's all about sensations, that's all. So whatever is for you to feel the sensation. Now, when you're doing that, your concentration should be, focus should be, what is my left hand feeling? Not what is your right hand feeling. What is the feeling left hand has? Okay? Like that. Okay, it requires a bit of silence so that we can all feel it. So before we start that, you need to do it at least 20 times. So count in your head, do it 20 times by just paying attention to what my left hand is feeling. A kind of a memory gets formed there. The feel of the right palm fingertips. So do that 20 times, count and do it. Now stop doing that brushing and just feel your left hand. You can feel how it is still being brushed. There is a little change in the temperature of the air just above the palm. It's a feeling. There is something happening there. Most often people will feel like grrr, kind of like buzzing, or little heavy thing, little heavy, or like a little tightened feeling, or there's always a little bit of air temperature change. There's always that little bit, or it's like superimposing something is on top of it, kind of a feeling will be there. And so what you need to do is, imaginary hand is brushing. Feel that. And this is the vibration in your energy body which has started. This is a vibration. Okay? And see how long this vibration lasts. It lasts for a long time. Now, you should be typically doing with the right hand also the same way. Okay? Now, for the sake of this process, let's do 3 times on the right hand. This time you feel the right hand, not the left hand, which is brushing it. Okay? So just do that. 1, 2, 3. I'll do 5 times. 4 and 5. Now you might have observed how different it felt than the left hand. Right hand felt it differently because it's a different part of the brain which is processing it. Also, by birth, you may be right-hander, left-hander. That also makes a difference. And now, again, you feel the brushing. And after some time, that brushing won't be felt, but the vibrations can be felt. Basically, electromagnetic field you created there, and it's going like that. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is keep both hands. Now, this is like messing up with the brain. Now you see that there are two palms which are brushing these two. Now feel it, how that buzzing increases, because you have put an intent that your palm is brushing these two. The right palm is brushing the left palm is brushing the right. And so you can create that buzzing feeling or whatever that is for you. You understood? This is how the feel of your energy body. Now, once you practice it 1 or 2, 3, 4 days, that's enough. When you practice it, you just think about it, your palm starts. Okay? Now another experiment, because palms are actually the most sensitive part of our body when it comes to energy. Okay? Now let's do another experiment. Your head, take both the palms and just do some bit of a massaging to your scalp. Okay? You can close your eyes and just feel how the scalp feels your hand. There is a sound, there is a feeling. I know that your hand feels more than your scalp because hands are very sensitive part. But the important thing is to feel what the scalp feels, okay? If you want, press a little bit, do something, and then remove your hand, and then feel the scalp. Just feel the scalp, and you'll feel it. Definitely you'll feel it. Okay? So this is how you will feel. You can do it under the feet also, like as if you're taking a brush and, you know, from the tip of the toe till the heel, you can do it. And you'll feel it very, very much. And that also helps you to get connected with the earth a lot. If you just do that exercise, okay? Now, once you're understanding your energy body, if you put an intent to that body, intent to that energy body, and move that energy body is when you start the healing process. Okay? Now, if you just feel this, you brushed it, right? You felt it. My hand is still doing that buzz sound. Now, I can tell myself that to identify whether my imagination or my gut feeling, whether I should do it or not do it, this is a buzz feeling I should feel. You got it what I'm saying? First of all, you understand your energy, communication, language of your body, and you can use that to understand, get answers, to guide you. If I feel this, then I'm ready for giving healing. That's easy for everybody because we have been trained like that. Reiki people will definitely feel here. You can write the symbols here and give the energy. All that is possible. But the same way, you should be able to use it for your own life decisions. Get it? Okay. So you keep doing these kind of experiments to understand how do I use my energy body to tell me, guide me. Then your stomach, you know, once you just understand palm, leg, head, and some little bit of everything, all parts of your body will start talking to you. They will clearly tell you, they have a way to tell you whether they don't like it, what decision you're doing, or the decisions you're doing, they like it. Okay? So this is one way of understanding things. But there are some times which the moment you hear it, you know that's what it is because it's matching your intent. You don't even have to check with your body. Right? Only when you're in doubtful, you can. So that's about it. Now, what is the experiment? The experiment is something in your life which you want to take a decision. Okay? And so you will be getting guidance about that decision. For example, Pam says that you should be ready. Once you ask the question, you should be ready. There are consequences because you've already started something in the field. For example, Pam wanted to be a writer, okay, and she was working somewhere else. So one day she put a question waiting for a perfect answer. That question she put is it time to launch my freelance writing career? This is what she asked the question. Next day, she got fired from her job. You should be ready for it. You ask the question. This is how the answer comes. And you didn't want to make a choice there because you are confused. So the field made a choice for you. You may not like it. So you don't have to be so scared about the field now because it will always choose something really good for you. It's always aligning you with your purpose. So sometimes it is okay to get fired because it already has some other plan. It is already providing you with all the support and everything. So it is okay to get fired. Okay, that's my personal experience too. That's why I'm telling you that. I'm 100%. I'm 5,000% confident about it when I'm saying it. Trust me. Okay, and now it's become, sometimes I laugh when people in the sense, of course, my husband, where trying to make a decision or so much of logic, and I'm laughing in my mind because for me, it's like, okay, just give me the solution, whatever I'm supposed to choose. And invariably, I get it. It may be my husband who is really working logically and finding a solution. Of course, I asked for it. Yeah, somebody should work for me and tell me, right, the solution. Of course, he gets very angry when I say that, but that's how it is. That's how it is. You ask for it, you will get it by somebody. Somebody will work for you and will give you that. It's as simple as that. So you don't have to have any tension. No need for any tension in your life. You just need to keep on putting your request because you are eligible to put any request to this field because this field is so much abundant that it can give you anything. Now, if you're putting a timeline like how Gauri did, we don't know how it works. Are we so powerful that we can manifest it immediately? Or how much our focus is, depending on that we get the timeline, we don't know that. Also, in what package it's coming. Like all the time, I keep telling this to my clients that you ask for a brownie, but you say that I didn't get the brownie at all because you are telling yourself that I want a brownie to be bought from, some bakery or something which is closer to your house. But what it gave you probably is the flour and chocolate flavor and sugar and the YouTube recipe to make the brownie. And you didn't see that, right? So in what packages it comes, we don't know. But also, if the package is coming to you, what will happen is you will go to your friend's place and she will say, hey, come, let's bake the brownie. That's how it should happen, if it's giving you flour and etc., etc. So it has its way. It doesn't mean that, okay, I don't have to do anything. I'll just put an intent and I'll sit quietly. Okay, for the sake of the experiment, that's what we are going to do. But in your real life, you will do what needs to be done. And it will show in its grand possible way. Right? So what is that experiment for the next whole week? You need to write something which you want to decide on. Or you have something which you don't know what to do about. So you ask the field, give me a message, give me a signal for the solution, but it should be so clear for me that I don't have to choose anything. or I don't have to get confused. So it might happen like Michael Beckwith, that a scroll will show you and you'll wonder what it is and you'll keep quiet, but that will happen, that will unfold what it is. Okay, so though it is a 48-hour thing, it's very nice to see how that will unfold in 48 hours, or which will unfold in 1 week, or maybe after 2 weeks. But if you write it in this book, and when that someday when it happens, you'll see that, wow, I never chose. It showed me what to do. Something like that. Okay?
Isha, can you repeat the question, please?
The question is, I think I will read that question as it is. Okay? So the question is, some question which you are not able to find an answer, let's assume. Okay, maybe it's a decision you are supposed to do, or maybe it is a problem is there or something is there which you don't know how to solve, or maybe it is like you have 2-3 choices, you don't know which one to do it, like how Pam did. Is it time for me to start my own freelancing writing stuff? Is a question. So you put a question and you say that, field, you have 48 hours. So get me the solution. And it should be so clear for me that I should not get confused. Okay, it can be a yes or no question. So somebody will give you a yes or no answer, or they will show you, they will bring the solution to you, and then you'll think that, okay, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. It happened to me, something like that. You got it? Okay. Now, this is the experiment. Anyway, so when she is explaining, Pam explains, but I found this, whatever she explained is so beautiful. She says one of her, not one of her friends, it's a person who's written Think and Be Rich, or some book he's written, the most popular book, even people read that even now. He explains in that book that when he wanted to decide something, you know, he wanted to understand and decide something, he wanted guidance, just before he slept, he used to call a council. And in that council, he put like Abraham and Lincoln, he had put Einstein, like a lot of people he had put in the council. Okay. And then in his mind, he will call this council, and then he will talk to them about his problem. And they will all discuss. And something he would realize, and he started realizing that how each of them, because of their background, their answers are. Okay, and slowly, he said it became like this. Abraham Lincoln started coming late to the council. He was always 5 minutes late. Okay, so he started thinking like, this is becoming a little creepy. I created, but there seems to be little energies here which seem to be doing something. So he stopped. He didn't want any more influences of all of these people on his life. But this is a beautiful thing. You know, when you want a confidence from somebody, some leader you know who has so much of confidence, you can draw that confidence, right? And sometimes you can imagine that this person is there and you're telling you're telling all these questions of you, whatever you have, and maybe try seeing an answer from them. These are the abilities which we need to grow. The thing is, all of these are actually your own intuition, but then it's coming through someone else's help, right? So play around with all of this. Maybe you turn out to be a crazy person. Then life is going to be very interesting, at least for sure. And you can tell stories to other people. Third thing is, you may get some good guidance. We never know. So try out all of these things and let us share that right? And most importantly, write it down in your book so that you will feel someday it's such a beautiful thing to read. Okay, I am done. If anybody has any question, we can take it. Yes, Navina.
Yeah. Thanks, Isha, for such a wonderful guidance and session. So, when you said like, you get sensations, so like, I just wanted to share this that, you know, it's like, when I think of something, somebody says something and I feel so elated within, like I feel, oh my God, like aha moment. And that is how I get, like maybe it's my own intuition, which is, as you rightly said, it's speaking through someone.
Absolutely.
Like, and maybe I open up a book, maybe some book, and whatever I read, oh, exactly this is what I wanted, and that's like a knowing thing. So that is how it works for me. So just wanted to share that. That
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
a
You're
aha
right.
moment. Like for me, it is like, oh my God, like oh my God, like sort of a thing.
Yeah, that's right. And if and that's the expansion, okay? That's the
Right.
energy expansion. The same way if somebody tells us something which we don't like, you cringe. That's
Right.
collapsing.
Right.
Oh, that's bad. No, it's not bad. It's just that that's how our energy body works. You just
Right.
need to realize that. And that's what you're going to use in making decisions and everything.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Yeah.
one more thing I wanted to ask, like, when you were making us do the experiment with the hands, so one hand, of course, my right hand is more sensitive. So one hand, of course, I could feel, some itching sensation or something. So I just wanted to ask, like, if suppose I have to decide something and I use my hand, okay, what is like my body feeling? And if I get that same itching sensation or something, it means that I will be guided, right?
No, it doesn't mean that. That's why I told you, in this week, you have to figure it out. What is a yes for you? What is a no for you?
No for you. Okay, got it. Yeah, got
You
it.
got it, right? You need to
Yeah.
figure it out. That's why
Right.
you need to, every time when something happens in your life, not something happens in your life, every time, every thought, when you hear somebody, immediately think about what's happening in your body. This is how you're going to experiment with yourself. Know
Right.
yourself.
Right. Right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you
Thanks a
so
lot.
much. Ritika, you said something?
Yeah, I had just doubts about what kind of questions I can ask. So I just typed them out and sent them to you.
Yeah. Ask this question. And you say that in 48 hours, I need a clear answer.
Okay. Both.
That's it. Be
Both.
curious. Yeah, just do it. Don't
Can
get
I do
scared.
2 questions? I am getting scared.
Ritika, the thing is, what are you going to get so scared about? We are scared. What if it becomes real? You know that? We are so scared about it becoming real. We ask a question because in our head we think that chill out, yeah, it won't happen so fast. Okay.
Actually,
so
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, please finish, then I'll say.
So when it happens, if it happens so fast, we are not ready. It's like, oh, this is not what I asked for. No. You asked for it. You didn't know what you asked for it. So just go ahead and ask and be curious how it will show up for you. In what way? How much percentage it will show up? If you're not ready, it won't show you up.
Yeah.
That is also there.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's not like, oh, I'll ask and because I'm sure I won't get an answer. It's more like kind of fear that what if it doesn't happen? Like, so I wanted it. So we have to do this with faith, right? That I will get the answer in 48 hours.
I will do more like curiosity. It's like, I know it'll show up. It's just that in what way it'll show up, I don't know. So let me be curious. And when it happens, let me see how I'll handle it. Who knows, if you get it good, then it's good, really good. That's bonus. So it's worth it to go ahead and ask any question you want.
Okay.
It may not, like if okay, so whatever we were discussing in the past, the previous experiment or something. Somebody asked for the guitar, some very crazy guitar, and it after a year, they got that, you know, the world famous guitar kind of a thing. It happened after a year, right? And if they had thought that how that is possible, let me not ask only, it wouldn't have happened. So it's like ask, and how much percentage of it happens also will tell you how much is your focus. Right? It's like I asked for 1 crore, but I got only 1,000 rupees. Okay, that's what I believe. That's what I believe that I can get. So something like that. So, okay, to avoid your fear. Anyway, there is no, I'm just giving an example, Ritika. Anyway, there is no 1 lakh right now. So there is no fear of losing it. There is no fear of not getting it because you are already in that state. So what are you going to lose by asking?
No, it's more like, oh, what if I don't get the answer? Which then it's like being let down by my
So
own
right now,
higher self or something.
no, higher self will never let down. It's only human beings are who are letting themselves down. That's all. The field has abundant everything. Higher self is only waiting to give you. Now, who is here messing up? We are messing up. So there's nothing wrong. Just go ahead and ask whatever you want. And right now, what is that you got? Simple and straight. Okay? Okay. So we are done for the day. Let me just stop there.